Ooh, man, I am shot out of a cannon today. I'm excited for this video as we jump in. And, I'm going to be really quick today. It's going to be a short video, but I think it's going to be powerful and helpful for you. First thing, before we get to all that, though, camp signups are now officially open. If you are a student that is interested in coming to our camp, come to our camp, download the Rock C3 app, get signed up on there. $225 for high school camp. It's June 16th through the 20th at Garden City Chapel. Me and Benny have talked about the camp theme already, and some other people have talked about it. It's going to be incredible. You're going to love it. We have already talked to some worship people about some things, and that's going to be awesome. So just be at camp. It's my favorite week of the entire summer, and every single time that we go, I know it's students' favorite weeks as well. So just get signed up. And if you're curious about what camp looks like and how you should go through it, talk to your small group leader, talk to your group. They'll tell you how awesome it is, and then you'll go and get signed up later that evening. But hey, there are a limited amount of spots, so make sure you get signed up as soon as possible. There's a $100 deposit to secure your spot. Got it? Good. Let's move on. Today, we are starting a brand new series called Who is Jesus? We're pairing it with our weekend services that is called Jesus Is. And, we believe that there is a world that has kind of gotten used to the thought of who Jesus is, and we kind of forgot who he actually is. Like, we've just kind of accepted, like, oh, yeah, Jesus is someone I should follow, and Jesus is someone I should listen to, and Jesus is a good guy, and he taught some good stuff. But we haven't really broken down why we should really know who Jesus is and how he really affects our life. And because of that, we've forgotten who Jesus truly is. And today's focus, from my perspective and what I got from this Connect time, is that Jesus is God who loves us and saves us by dying for us. Now, as you guys do your personal Connect time after this, you might get something different from Hebrews 1 and 2. And let me encourage you, Hebrews 1 and 2 can be I don't want to call it a challenging couple chapters to read, but it's definitely different. I think the writer of Hebrews wrote in a very unique way, which causes people to think about what you're reading a little bit different. So really take your time going through it. And I can't wait to see how God speaks to you about who Jesus is throughout those two chapters. But what I got is Jesus is God who saves us by dying for us. And it was a beautiful walkthrough. All of scriptures pointed to that. But in these two chapters specifically, there's a beautiful walkthrough. I'm not going to read the verses exactly, but I'm just going to say what they are for me. If you look at verse 1-3, then it is Jesus talking about being the same as God. It talks about having the same characteristics. It talks about having the same attributes as God. So Jesus is the same as God. But then in verse 8, God, the Father, is talking to the Son, and he references the Son as God. It was a really interesting thing I've never caught before, but it was just a very clear, like, hey, I am calling you God, not just Son. Very fascinating. Check that out. Chapter 1, verse 8. So if you break down chapter 1, you see that Jesus is the same as God and Jesus is God. And that's really, really important. Because as we see in chapter 2, verse 2 was what I got out of it. Once again, we're walking through what I got, is that we are sinful people. And when there is sin, there is a punishment that is to be had with it. It's a difficult thing to deal with, but the truth is we all are sinners. We all have made mistakes. We all have messed up. And because we've all made mistakes, because we've all messed up, there is a punishment to pay for that. And that punishment to pay for that is death. And it's not just death on this earth. It's eternal death. It's eternal pain. It's eternal hurt that happens in the pits of hell. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to experience that. Because if you just imagine the worst moments of your entire life, that is what you're feeling all the time in hell. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to experience that. The good news is we don't have to experience that. And the reason we don't have to experience that is because of Jesus. Because of Jesus' death on the cross, we are saved. Verse 10 in chapter 2 talks about how Jesus is the perfect leader. He is the one that we needed. He is the one that stepped in for us. He is the one that is the only one that could have saved. Nothing that we could have tried would have kept us or would have helped us get back with God. No, everything we do keeps us away from God because we are naturally sinful. We've pushed him away. But because Jesus is the perfect leader, he brings us back to God. And the way he did that was verse 14. Through dying on the cross as a human, he defeated death. He defeated devil. He defeated sin. And because of that, we can have life with him. And that's just what I got. I just saw 5 verses that just stuck out to me about who Jesus is and what he does in our lives. And as you read these 2 chapters in your connect time that you're about to have, it might look, you might get something different. If I remember right, there's 32 verses altogether in these 2 chapters. So chances are you probably will have scriptures that point out that are a little bit different, and talk about those. And it's my prayer that you see who Jesus is throughout your reading. It's my prayer that you recognize some things in your life, and it is my prayer that we respond to them and apply these to our lives so that we can follow Jesus better. But ultimately, I want you to know this about this video and what we're talking about today: that Jesus loves you, and that he cares about you, and that the God of the universe would be willing to die for you to experience life with him. Guys, thanks for hanging out with this video. Remember, camp signups are open on the app, and I hope you have a great connect time as well as a great small group time after that. Later.